So can you talk about how you tailor your communications or your digital strategy perhaps to individual clients? Because I think statistics have debunked over and over again the fact that high net worth people may not want to engage digitally or things like that. I mean, that's just not true, even though a lot of people might think that. But you're famous for how you've been able to tailor communications for the everyday investor. But how do you think about it from client to client, and how does that relate to technology when it comes to how you're introducing this technology to clients, maybe differently than you had in the past, or new pieces of technology? Because Baird, as a client, I can say, has done a nice job in enhancing their technology offerings as well. How are you introducing those to clients, and is it different from client to client?
Yeah, Tom, thanks for being a client of Baird. Really
I don't have a choice. But.
I think you're onto something when you say it's different from client to client. I used to think that I could just show up in wealth management, splash out my style, and that everybody would pay attention. And I was wrong in that sense, because different generations engage in different ways. Some people are more digitally native. Some people are still analog. And that's fine. Look, that's fine. I don't want to be the kind of person that says, you can only read my content on Twitter. I'll still produce an email that goes to an email list. I'm happy to produce PDFs if an advisor wants to send a PDF to a client. Like, I know that people engage differently. But I want to move the ball forward. I want to move the ball forward inside of Baird and with my brand. And that is, what is it? Podcasts? What is vlogs? What are YouTube? What does an email look like? I want to be everywhere, because if we're going to attract clients of all different ages and types, if we're going to be thoughtful about technology and how its interaction with clients are working, we need to move to a world where you got a bit of content here and a bit of content there. You got a good Twitter person who's pushing the brand and its own brand. So, like I said, COVID really pushed us forward. And I used to go on the road a lot and do a lot of client events. You show up in a hotel ballroom, there'd be a nice buffet over here. I wouldn't get to eat it. The clients would get a nice little run of the buffet. We'd do a talk, shake some hands. And that was a traditional client experience when you're updating them on the markets or technology or anything. And COVID throws us into the world where now I can deliver that in a hyper-personalized way. I can deliver that via WebEx or Zoom or whatever the chosen platform is. I can have an advisor group say, hey, come speak to these 6 clients. They're really worried about the election. Come speak to them. And I can do that instantly from my home in a really highly professional way. I don't think that will take over. I think we will still have the in-person events. I'm hoping that you guys are throwing conferences again one day. I'm hoping we can get together, because that builds a lot of creativity in our community. But I like the fact that I can deliver into my client's home, into their iPad and their chair, part of a meaningful wealth management experience. And I can do it in my style that is complementary to Baird's other experts.